Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and joining me is Dr. Renee Rogers from the Birthplace of Country Music, and we are looking for songwriters. This is an exciting time, and I love that the museum does this.
Yes, so this is our Tennessee Songwriters Week. We participate in that as a site for one of the qualifying rounds, and the actual competition is on the 31st of January in the evening from 6 to 9. But if you are a songwriter who would like to perhaps be considered for it, you need to get your nomination in or your application in by the 13th of January. And how it works is that we have 20 songwriters at the qualifying round. That's then narrowed down to 2 who go on to the next round, which happens at the Paramount Bristol. And then the winners from those next rounds get to go and perform at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, which is a pretty big deal.
That's a very big deal.
Yes.
So, okay, if a songwriter out there is hearing this, what are their next steps? Do they get online?
Yes,
Do they stop by the museum?
Yep, if you go to birthplaceofcountrymusic.org, you can look up on our events about the Tennessee Songwriters Week, and that'll give you all the information about how to apply to participate in that. The limit is 20. And so you want to be able to get in there with an original song of your own. And then you'll be informed after the deadline date about whether you've made it to the qualifying round.
That's exciting.
And if you are someone who's going to want to listen to some great songs, then there's also information on there about how you can come and watch the actual competition on the 31st. And get tickets for that.
So, it is an exciting. How many years have you done this?
This is the 6th year, I think, of the Tennessee Songwriters Week, and I believe we've participated in it almost all of those years, but COVID makes me forget when we started.
Yes.
But yeah, we've certainly been participating for several years.
I know, it's just very exciting. Any songwriter that would get that opportunity to go to Nashville, why not? And It's just great that we can do it right here in our backyard. And
definitely.
It's really a special thing. Anything else going on in the museum that you want to talk about coming into 2025?
Yeah, we've got a couple of things. So we have another songwriter activity that is new to the museum. So on the second Saturday of each month, we're now going to be hosting a songwriters circle. This is in partnership with the Songwriters of Highlands, Appalachia. And basically it's a chance for songwriters to come together once a month. It's from 2 to 5 every Saturday. It's free. Talk about their songs, play their songs for each other, sort of bounce ideas off of each other. It's just a place to be creative together and get the support. They have that supportive network of other creative songwriters and just enjoying music together. That's also on our website, so you can go check that out. Like I said, it's free and open to any songwriters. And then also we're going to be restarting our speaker sessions, which goes out is usually the second Tuesday of every month. In January, it's actually on the third Tuesday, so it's on January 21st because we make sure that we have something that goes along with the MLK celebration that happens in Bristol. And we're going to be hosting a wonderful musician and instrument builder named Dina Ross Jennings, who makes all sorts of different instruments, but most importantly, for our purposes, she makes gourd banjos, which are based on the African instruments that are the basis for the banjo that we know and love today.
Oh, wow. So there's just always something going on. I don't even know how you keep up with your schedule.
It's very hard.
Yeah, I bet. And you just have to get online and get your calendar ready. Because if you just haven't jumped into the museum and all the things it has to offer, this is a great year to do it.
It is. And most of our stuff is free or low cost, so it's accessible and fun for all ages and all interests.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing all that with us. And if you've got questions, you can always call over there and, of course, get online or just pop by.
Yeah, please do.
Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Krista Skeens from the YWCA with us today, talking about some special activities for our youth community members to celebrate MLK. Yes. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, so on Monday, January 20th, the YW is having its second annual MLK Children's Day, which is exciting. It's full of interactive games, activities, crafts. We're even having a diversity cakewalk, which should be kind of fun. It's exciting. I've had a lot of fun creating different things with this. And the purpose of this is really to bring in those kids, because they're off that day, so that's lovely, and to expose them to Dr. King's values, like kindness, justice, equality, compassion, love, things like that. So that way they can take these back and it'll spark conversations of how they can be making these positive changes in their own communities and their own worlds.
I love that you started this because so many times we do have amazing community activities going on that day, but sometimes I don't know that they're always geared towards kids.
Yes.
And so by doing this, especially like with some of the crafts and just some of the activities, the cakewalk, some of these things, they're more meaningful to them. It kind of gets on their level and then they can understand like, hey, okay, I love that.
It is. And so it was fun to take this because Dr. King and what he stood for and what he wanted is for everyone. It's not just for old people. It's not just for one race or one gender. It's for everyone. So taking it and really making it about the kids, and it was a lot of fun because there's so much that they can do hands-on that is on their level where they can still take away these lifelong lessons and values. And this year we have a sponsor, Just Jump in Bristol, Tennessee, who has provided meals for the first 100 kids. So, so not only are we going to be feeding them like with knowledge, but also we know that there's a lot of kids out there who, when school's closed, may not get a meal. So this is an opportunity for us to partner with them, which we're really excited about, and still help the kids in the community. And we're also providing books on diversity or MLK to the first 100 kids as well. So that's exciting too.
Okay, so now do you register or you just show up, and what is the time?
You just show up.
Okay,
Everyone
just
is
show
welcome.
up.
Yes. The time is from 12 to 1:30 on that Monday.
Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. So, and any age?
Any age is welcome. My brother's bringing his kids. The youngest one is 4 weeks old, so he'll be there. I don't know what he can do, but he'll be there. But it's any age, really. 4 to 12 is about the age where I think they can get the most out of it. But we had a lot of parents last year who came who walked off like, oh, I didn't know that. No one had told me that before. So it's really cool. Like, it's not just for the kids; it's for everyone. We just make it really fun for the kids.
I love that, and it is at the Y.
It is at the Y in our gymnasium.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so mark your calendar, and it is a great thing to do with the kids, and they are out of school that day.
They
and
are.
Lots
Let
of,
us help
and
you
it's some
babysit them.
Yes,
For
some
an
good
hour and a half.
incentives. You get a
Yes.
meal, all this
Yeah.
good stuff. So, well, thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for sharing all of this with
Absolutely.
us. Mark your calendars, and don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a moment. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Margaret Fire Robin and Reverend Jackie Knopflin with me today, and we are going to talk about the upcoming MLK community event. Where do we want to start? Margaret, you want to start and tell us a little bit about it and what to expect?
Sure, I'll be glad to talk just a little bit. We believe this is the 7th one, and there have been various things done in our community for Martin Luther King over the years, and Lee Street Baptist Church always does a 4 o'clock service on the day before, but we hadn't had a community event. So we started having a community event, so the community comes together, different organizations represented, and certainly YWCA is one of those, and Appalachian Promise Alliance most recently been part of that, and then many different organizations and faiths and congregations come together, and we look at doing a program, and we chose the day, the actual birthday, and since we began it, it's included March. That's varied for how we have done that. And then a program at 2 o'clock that we have different speakers, et cetera. So this year, the similar format. Last year we did add, and I think you had a program or going to have one where the YWCA is having the events for children. Yes. And the hope is they then will come to the program from there.
So they can go, we just talked to the YW right before you, so they can go there and then come
Yes.
straight to your
Yes.
event.
And actually the way that it happened last year and we plan again this year is they gather at the YW to do different activities, and different organizations and congregations are providing some of those activities. And then with the march is from the YWCA to the sign, where we'll do a traditional photo, and then we're going to have it at First Baptist Church. The first ones were at the train station. We really have outgrown that.
Okay.
Plus last year we were not able to have it there because of conflicts. So First Baptist can hold more people, and that route means that if a train is parked there, we can still get to it without.
Yeah, you don't want to get stopped on the other side of the tracks. That's a great,
right.
a great,
Yeah. We might
place
not be able to
stop.
get our photo if a train's parked there, but we will be able to get there. So that's kind of what the process is. And we call on people, anybody who wants to participate in the planning, and a lot of the different organizations that have their own activities, and we can highlight a couple of those. Will come together and plan that program. And we choose a theme every year. Sometimes we have coordinated with Appalachian Peace Education Center, APEC, who has been doing, I think they're on their 37th community event. This year it's not the same. And so I think Reverend Knopflin can give us a little bit on the theme and talk about it a little bit.
I'm excited about the theme this year because it's dealing with area that which we're living in today. And one of Dr. King's quotes, and I had to write down to make sure I get it correctly. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness." He said, "Only light can drive out darkness." He said, "Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can drive out hate." And so we've decided that our theme this year will be Mission Possible, Love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. And that's a quote, end quote, from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And this year, when we came to that decision, we were going back and forth on, but this one settled right in, especially with the day that we're living in, and there's so much aggravation and meanness and things of that nature. He continues to speak down through history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He continues to give us messages down through history. And everyone says, well, that I have a dream, but what about you today? But he continues to speak to us and lead and help guide us and keep us on that narrow path of love versus hate. And that's a choice that we make each day. It's a choice we can make, and it's a choice that we can deny ourselves.
I love that. So with that theme, which is so powerful, I guess everything will be, kind of centered around this, and the speakers and all the different activities. That's great. I love that. So what do we expect if we show up? And I guess if we don't have any kids, do we just still show up at the YW at like 1:30?
1:30 to gather for the march, which is really more of a walk.
Yes.
And for the photo, and then go to First Baptist Church. If people run late or can't do that or don't want to participate in that part, it'll be start at 2:00 at First Baptist. And just want to be sure people know there are accessibility. If you've seen First Baptist, those stairs are daunting for anybody. And I think around to the right is where an elevator is. And then we'll have our program, and we'll have some speakers and some readings, and then we will finish with joining together and singing, and then there's a reception afterwards downstairs in the fellowship hall. So opportunity for people to talk to each other and reconnect and connect with some new people, etc. So that's kind of what the format is of that day.
I would encourage that more young people would come out. The first march that we had, my 2-year-old granddaughter was sitting on my lap, and we have pictures of that. And Margaret is correct. There's been 7 years because she's 9 now, and she has not missed a opportunity to participate or to hold the banner, and to march. And so this year the girls are grown up. My praise team have grown up now, and they will be participating as well. I would encourage the young people to get involved and to be part of this, because they learn more each time as we are continuing to learn more about what yesterday was like in comparison to today, and why things are the way they are. It gives some clarity.
And just how to be better.
How to be better.
We certainly, Dr. King, as Jackie said, there are so many quotable quotes from Dr. King, and sometimes we emphasize so much the civil rights part. He had a lot to say about poverty and economics and war and so many things that speak to us. And so that is one of our goals, is to really focus our event on Dr. King and bring those things out as well.
Well, we're excited. What a great event for the community. Thank you, too, for all the hard work you've been doing. I know it's not just started last week. It definitely takes a village, and it takes some real planning when you go to pull something off like this. So that's great. We appreciate that. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the event that we're missing?
I'll just add for some of the other things to look for, and calendar on the YWCA website. If people want to be involved, we have an email, bristolmlk@gmail.com. So people can join to plan for next year, as well as if they need more information. But some of our partners, Birthplace Country Music, that always has several things they go into Black History Month in February for their activities. King Faith and Culture, they have a speaker that is coming to Lee Street Baptist Church on 2 different times, Saturday the 18th at 11 a.m. and then again at 6 p.m. And it's a conversation with Dr. Lerone Martin, who is professor in religious studies, African American studies, and Nina C. Crocker faculty scholar. He serves as the director of the Martin Luther King Jr. Research Education Institute at Stanford University. So, and the title of his talks should be good. And I think the second one is A King for Our Times, and he has worked to advance public understanding of the history, politics, and cultures of African American religions, a recent book. So his things will be good. And also the YWCA does some other initiatives as well. So be looking for the different things and Appalachian Peace Education Center, theirs is on Saturday. So if you can't come on Martin Luther King Day, they march from Charles Wesley United Methodist Church to Abingdon United Methodist Church. And their schedule is about the same as ours, 1:30 and then 2 o'clock for their program at the church. And it's always good. Their focus this year, their theme is Women of the Civil Rights Movement. They're doing a Thursday night program featuring local, regional women. And then their program on Saturday will have some of the women in history that will recognize their names. And so that's what their program's going to be.
Well, thank you. Lots to look forward to in January and lots ahead in 2025. So it's exciting to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning in today. We'll see you next time.